Welcome back, everybody, to the Z-Man Show. Mike here. As we're diving into Fear the Walking Dead, Season 7, Episode 4, called Breathe With Me. And I'm going to need you all to breathe with me because this show is pretty much become what I remember it in the dark days. It's as I feared, and, we're already in now 4 episodes, and the writing is just as bad as it was, 2, 3 previous seasons before, where it's just coincidence after coincidence. I mean, it's just a lack of good writing, right? It's just bad writing, and I don't know how to put this here because the actors are doing a pretty damn good job, actually. I mean, they're all pretty believable, but it's the situations that we find themselves in, or that we find the people in. And I just want to talk about real quick. So tonight we get to see Sarah. Lord, we haven't seen these people in forever. So Sarah's been holed up with some of the other survivors that we haven't seen, good Lord, since season 6. Daniel and Charlie and anyways, all those other ones that we just were like, where did they go to? And apparently, remember, they got lifted out of that helicopter. I think Althea called in a favor, if you will, I guess from her girlfriend or whatever in the CRM, and they get helicoptered out to safety, or at least kind of safety. So when they're in some kind of like little El Paso kind of fort, little place or whatever, got turned into a bed and breakfast. And the beginning scene is kind of what just kind of threw me off already. It's like she wakes up out of this stupor and she's just kind of like, she's kind of freaking out a little bit, kind of can't breathe a little bit, having a little bit of a panic attack, maybe a nightmare. And the next thing we know, she's in the next room, kind of looking around like, where am I? She has a bad bruise on her head, and a zombie just kind of walks through the front door, just chilling. And then suddenly everybody comes out and they shoot the zombie and they're like, oh, good, she's awake. I'm just like, what? I'm like, guys, what an awful start to an episode. I mean, you just let zombies just come in through the front. Now, maybe they're trying to hit off the whole, oh, Daniel's still forgetting things, because they played off that again. They're like, who closed the front gate last? And they're like, wasn't me. And then Daniel's like, I think I did it. And then Charlie's like, are you sure, Daniel? And he's like, no. But I'm just like, that's a tired out plot from just last season, which I was just kind of like, come on now. I mean, I just I just can't deal with it, guys. I'm stammering over my words because I'm so frustrated with this show right now. I mean, really, all we're basically coming out to right now is just to kind of see our, like, weekly dose of zombie drama, if you will. I mean, it feels kind of like a soap opera, really, because, in soap operas, like, barely anybody ever dies. I mean, never dies, right? And the story just kind of keeps, coming full circle and this and that. And, I'm not feeling it. It's really bothering me. And like I said, the characters are doing a pretty good job, at least with the lines that they're given. I mean, they're trying to sell it, which they must be furious right now. At least I would be if I was on this show. These showrunners, they don't know what they're doing, and AMC needs to get their act together. We get a chance to see Josiah, who is the twin brother of Emil. Emil was the bounty hunter who got his head cut off, and now Josiah, the exact twin brother, is carrying his head around in a box, and he's trying to get Morgan. That's pretty much the premise of it. So Sarah comes into contact with this Josiah, and basically Josiah says, I used to find people and this and that. I'm search and rescue, blah, 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 15 years with park rangers. But I will help you find your brother if you help me get Morgan. And that's a tough one, right? I mean, that's a dilemma in itself. But she decides to give in, and can you really blame Sarah? I mean, yeah, she's kind of betraying Morgan in a small way, but I mean, it's her brother. I mean, or, at least what she considers, someone she's been with her entire life, and she needs him. So anyways, they go through this deal. We get to see those kind of, what do you want to call them, post-apocalyptic marauders or whatever, and the one guy, he's wrangling up zombies and like letting them loose, I guess, throughout the landslide or whatever, or the landscape, excuse me. I can't talk tonight. This show just got me up in a whirl. So basically, he's letting zombies out throughout the landscape, and we're like, why are you doing this? And we don't get to find out much, except that he and this dude ends up leading them to where so this place where basically, I guess, all these horses and stuff where it used to be held, but there's nothing but zombies and all these just little canals or whatever that have all been gated up. And apparently they're collecting these zombies and they're letting them out back into the world. So again, very terrible idea. And see, this is the thing. We've seen a lot of these villains played in and played out time and time again. And I'm just like, what makes this group any different? I mean, are they the new big bad here in season 7? And we're just now starting to see them 4 episodes in. As we're piecing together all of our characters, mind you, at that. And so as Sarah finds Wendell's bloodied chair just kind of hanging out in one of the stalls, she starts to freak out and wants to start beating this dude's butt. And he manages to throw open one of the stall doors, and the zombies come pouring out, and they have to run off, which then leads them to getting into the car. She tries to drive off, and Josiah jumps in last minute, and then Sarah basically takes the car off of a cliff and just lands straight head face down into the ground, which absolutely would have killed both of them. I mean, they had no seatbelts on. But hey, coincidences and whatever else, plot armor. They live, and she comes to, and they start building a relationship there. And we find out that this guy, actually Josiah, is not really a bad guy. I mean, actually, he's probably a pretty cool dude. At least I kind of like his character. And for so much, furthermore, that Morgan, we just fast forward, Morgan ends up showing up. He kind of helps save them, and then they fight for like half a minute or whatever. And then poor Rufus the dog gets bit, and then Rufus ends up getting killed or has to die because obviously he can't survive the virus. And then Josiah ends up apologizing to Morgan about his brother coming after him and this and that. So now we're all friends, and it's like that's cool because I kind of like Josiah's character and stuff, but it's like he was very quick to forgive Morgan and just very quick to forgive everything in general. And maybe that's just his character inside. Like he was holding on to this promise, and maybe he finally just realized that he was holding on to it for the wrong reasons. That's all fine, well, and good. It's just, it just happened really, really fast. So all I can figure is they have so much story they're trying to build into the season, with all these individual characters, and they're all, siloed off into their little sections, and now they're just finally starting to bring everybody back into the fold, and it took them so many episodes to do that. I know they've done it in previous seasons and previous like The Walking Dead and so forth, but I tell you guys, it's drawing on us. It's really making us feel this long haul of just waiting for something to happen. And and again, with Victor and his kind of, honestly, his douchebag ways, he's just kind of like being a jerk to everybody. Like he's king of the freaking castle, like I called him last episode. And we find out that Wendell is in his compound, ultimately, just to get right to it. And he tells Sarah and them, after they arrive there, on foot, I assume, because the car was jacked, they basically find out that Victor's not going to let any of them in. Of course, we knew Morgan wasn't going to get in, and he sure as hell isn't going to let Josiah in. He doesn't know him from Adam. And Sarah, I guess, didn't back up Victor when times were crucial back before the nukes went off. So he's like, no, I'm not letting you in. And if you want your brother to come out, if he comes out, he's not getting back in. So he pretty much lays it on the line like a total jerk. And and so she has to let him go, which I will say it was a kind of a touchy scene, actually kind of tugs at your heart a little bit, because to have to let your loved one go like that, and she tells him, don't let him know I was here. And Victor's like, agreed. We still haven't seen Wendell, and I had to do a little reading on this. We haven't seen him since it was season 6, episode 10. So it's been like, I don't know, 10, 12 episodes, so we've even seen his character. I'm wondering if he's even still on the show. And furthermore, is Victor lying? Because we haven't seen his ass. I mean, wouldn't they have kind of shown him somewhere around there in the compound, in that building or something? But we haven't seen him at all. So I hope he's not lying to Sarah, because if so, watch out, Victor, because you're going to have some pain coming your way from several people, including Morgan, Sarah, and, well, just start drawing up a list and get in line. So, guys, anyways, I know this is a little bit of a rant tonight, but it's just kind of like, I don't know. What are they doing? What are they doing to our shows? I mean, are they just kind of like, hey, you know what? We've been doing this for so long. Who cares? Let's just throw some shit together and, here, zombies, or drama. Some of it's been interesting, some of it's been a little jaw-dropping, but not enough. I mean, furthermore, think about it, that all these nukes went off and none of our characters died. I mean, they're all pretty much chilling. It's just the villains that kind of got wiped out in between. And we haven't seen a character death in forever. I'm just wondering, am I even going to care when I see somebody go next? Who do you feel you relate to on this show anymore? Because I got to be honest, guys, I'm not sure. I feel like I relate to really anybody. I have a few wannabe favorites, like John Dory's dad, John Sr. God, I even have to sit here and think for a second. I mean, Morgan, I've always kind of felt like I was attached to him in some ways, but then he's gone back and forth over the fence. Where are you guys at? Who's your character these days? Or I mean, who do you even care to watch? I know a lot of people have dropped off from this show, so let me know. Are you gonna stick in with me and see this thing through, or are you just gonna kind of put it to rest? Because at this point in time, I'm telling you, World Beyond season 2 is almost beating out Fear the Walking Dead season 7, and that's bad when I'm saying something like that. So, I mean, at least there's some drama. I mean, it's not like so much I care about the characters in World Beyond. I mean, maybe a couple of them, but the story is at least interesting. Right now, the story is just not that interesting, other than the special effects, the landscapes, and the acting. Other than that, the story's trash. It just really is. At least at this caliber, we should be much further along with story writing, at least for AMC and their zombie storytelling. So, anyways, guys, that is my rant for episode 4. Let's see what episode 5 can bring. Let's see. I mean, it looks like there's some interesting things. The one last thing we saw at the end of the episode, I'll just mention real quick, was we saw that leaked warhead, the one that didn't go off. That crew, again, the guy who showed Wendell's chair to Sarah and Josiah, I think it's him that actually delivers it, or one of his crew at least, that delivers it to their main leader or one of the people, and he's like, we can finally get what we've been asking for. And it's like, what is this all about? So are these our big bads for season 7? Anyways, hopefully we're gonna find out in the next episode or two. Or I'll tell you, we're there's gonna be a lot more people leaving this show lickety split. So again, Mike with the Z-Man Show. Make sure to check out my channel for other content, and I will catch you guys at the next review. See you guys.